In a world that constantly asks you to explain yourself, announce your plans, and prove your worth out loud, choosing privacy is a radical act of self-respect. We live in an age where oversharing is celebrated. Every thought, every move, every emotion is expected to be displayed. But here is a quiet truth that doesn't get enough attention. The most powerful transformations happen in silence. Privacy is not hiding. Privacy is protecting. It is protecting your energy from opinions that don't understand your vision. It is protecting your peace from people who only listen to respond, not to support. It is protecting your dreams while they are still becoming strong enough to stand on their own. Some of the greatest growth periods in life look invisible from the outside. No announcements, no explanations, just deep inner work happening when no one is watching. When you keep certain things private, you stop performing and start becoming. You stop seeking validation and start building self-trust. And self-trust is one of the most powerful forces a human being can possess. Not everyone needs to know your next move. Not everyone deserves access to your healing process. Not everyone is meant to witness your becoming. Privacy teaches you discernment, the wisdom to know what to share, when to share, and with whom to share. It allows you to move with intention instead of impulse. When you stop narrating your life, you begin to listen to it. You hear your intuition more clearly. You feel your truth more deeply. You move with confidence that doesn't need applause. There is strength in letting results speak instead of words. There is power in arriving quietly and standing firmly. And there is freedom in realizing that you don't owe the world access to every part of you. Your life is not a public performance. Your growth is not a group project. Your journey is sacred. So guard it, honor it, nurture it in silence, because when privacy becomes your superpower, nothing can distract you, delay you, or drain you from the path that was meant for you. And when you finally step forward, you won't need to explain how you got there. They'll feel it. Privacy is not about secrecy, fear, or shutting people out. It is about self-respect, emotional intelligence, and intentional living. In a world where sharing everything has become normal, choosing privacy is a powerful decision, because what you protect, you strengthen. Inner power is not created through noise, attention, or constant validation. It is built quietly, steadily, and intentionally. When you keep parts of your life private, you give yourself space to grow without pressure. Growth needs room to breathe. Dreams need silence before they need applause. When too many people know your plans, opinions start to shape your direction, doubts begin to creep in, and your energy slowly leaks away. Privacy acts like a shield. It protects your vision from unnecessary influence and keeps your focus intact. Inner power comes from knowing who you are without needing others to confirm it. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone, you start listening to yourself more deeply. Your intuition becomes stronger, your decisions become clearer, and your confidence becomes quieter but unshakable. You no longer move to impress, you move with purpose. Privacy also builds emotional strength. When challenges arise, and they always do, handling them privately teaches resilience. You learn to sit with discomfort, to process emotions without external noise, and to find solutions from within. This creates self-trust, and self-trust is the foundation of inner power. A person who trusts themselves does not crumble under criticism, because their validation comes from inside, not from the outside world. There is also power in selective sharing. Not everyone deserves access to your fears, your healing, or your next step. Some people listen to judge, some listen to gossip, and some listen to project their own limitations onto you. Privacy allows you to choose wisely, to share only with those who are safe, supportive, and aligned with your growth. This discernment protects your energy and keeps your emotional world balanced. When your life is private, your actions become louder than your words. You stop announcing progress and start embodying it. You stop seeking attention and start attracting respect. People may not know what you are doing, but they will feel the change when you walk into a room with calm confidence and grounded presence. Privacy also prevents burnout. Constantly explaining yourself, updating others, and responding to opinions is exhausting. Inner power grows when your energy is conserved, not constantly spent. Silence restores strength, solitude sharpens clarity, and clarity fuels powerful action. Most importantly, privacy allows you to grow authentically. Without external pressure, you can evolve at your own pace. You can make mistakes privately, learn quietly, and rise confidently. No rush, no comparison, no performance, just real growth. Inner power is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not need witnesses. It is felt in your calm, seen in your discipline, and proven through your consistency. When you protect your life, your plans, and your process, you are not hiding, you are building. And what is built in silence often stands the strongest. Privacy is not weakness. Privacy is wisdom. Privacy builds inner power. Silence has long been misunderstood. In a world that rewards loud opinions, instant reactions, and constant visibility, silence is often mistaken for fear, insecurity, or lack of confidence. But the truth is very different. Silence is not weakness. It is strength under control. It is the choice to pause, to observe, and to act with intention rather than impulse. Strong people do not feel the need to respond to everything. They understand that not every comment deserves an answer. Not every challenge requires defense, and not every opinion needs correction. Silence becomes a filter, protecting the mind from unnecessary conflict and emotional exhaustion. When you remain silent in moments that could drain your energy, you preserve your power. Silence gives you emotional mastery. Instead of reacting emotionally, you respond thoughtfully, or sometimes you choose not to respond at all. This ability to regulate emotions is a rare skill. It shows maturity, self-awareness, and inner stability. While others rush to be heard, the silent individual listens, learns, and sees the full picture before making a move. There is also wisdom in silence during growth. When you are building something meaningful, talking too much can invite doubt, criticism, and distraction. Silence allows progress to happen without interference. It creates a protective space where ideas can mature and confidence can solidify. What grows quietly often lasts longer. Silence also commands respect. When you do not rush to explain yourself, people sense your self-assurance. You show that your worth does not depend on approval or validation. Your presence becomes calm and grounded. Your words, when spoken, carry weight because they are not wasted. In moments of conflict, silence can be the most powerful response. Arguing with people who are committed to misunderstanding you only drains your peace. Silence denies them access to your energy. It shifts the power back into your hands. You choose calm over chaos, clarity over confusion, and dignity over drama. Silence is also a tool for self-connection. When external noise fades, inner truth becomes louder. You begin to understand your values, your boundaries, and your direction. In silence, intuition sharpens. You start trusting your inner voice instead of being influenced by the opinions of others. Many people fear silence because it forces them to face themselves. But those who embrace silence develop emotional courage. They become comfortable with their own thoughts and emotions. This comfort builds resilience and mental strength. Silence does not mean submission. Silence does not mean surrender. Silence means choice. It means you are confident enough to know when speaking adds value and when it does not. It means you are disciplined enough to protect your peace. It means you are wise enough to let your actions speak louder than your words. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone, life becomes lighter. When you stop reacting to everything, your focus becomes sharper. When you stop competing for attention, your presence becomes powerful. Silence is not absence. Silence is presence without noise. Those who understand silence move with quiet authority. They are not rushed. They are not shaken. They are not controlled by external validation. They are anchored within themselves. In the end, silence is not something you lack. It is something you master. And when mastered, it becomes one of the strongest tools for protecting your energy, your direction, and your inner power. One of the most important lessons in personal growth is understanding that access to you is a privilege, not a right. Your thoughts, emotions, struggles, plans, and dreams are valuable, and anything valuable deserves protection. When you give everyone access to your inner world, you slowly lose control over your energy, your direction, and your peace. Not everyone who listens truly supports you. Some people listen to compare, some listen to judge, some listen to gossip, and some listen only to feel superior. When you open up without discernment, you place your vulnerability in hands that may not know how to hold it. This is why privacy is not cruelty, it is wisdom. Boundaries are an act of self-respect. Choosing not to share everything does not make you distant or cold, it makes you intentional. You are allowed to decide who gets to hear your story, who gets to witness your healing, and who gets to know your next move. When you control access, you control influence. Many people lose momentum because they share their goals too early. When a dream is spoken before it is strong, outside opinions can weaken it. Doubt enters, fear grows, motivation fades. Privacy gives your goals time to mature without being questioned or criticized. It allows confidence to be built from action, not approval. Access also affects emotional health. When you constantly explain yourself, you relive pain repeatedly. You reopen wounds just to make others understand, but healing does not require an audience. Healing requires safety, patience, and inner work. Some chapters of your life are meant to be healed quietly, not discussed publicly. There is strength in being selective. When you choose a small circle of trusted individuals, you create emotional safety. These are people who listen without judgment, support without jealousy, and advise without control. Everyone else does not need to know the details of your journey, and that is perfectly okay. Limiting access also protects your peace. When fewer people know your business, fewer people can interfere, fewer opinions reach you, fewer expectations weigh you down. You move freely, think clearly, and act confidently. It is important to understand that privacy is not about pushing people away. It is about pulling yourself closer to clarity. You are not obligated to explain your choices to those who do not understand your values. You do not owe updates to people who do not contribute to your growth. When access is limited, your presence becomes valuable. People respect what they cannot easily reach. When you stop oversharing, your words gain weight, your silence gains meaning, your boundaries gain authority. Not everyone deserves to know your pain. Not everyone deserves to see your process. Not everyone deserves to witness your becoming. Your life is not open source. It is curated. It is protected. It is intentional. By choosing who gets access to you, you protect your energy, your dreams, and your future. You move with confidence, not because everyone knows your plans, but because you do. And when the results finally appear, no explanation will be needed. Your growth will speak for itself. Focus is one of the rarest and most powerful skills in the modern world. In a time where attention is constantly pulled in every direction, privacy becomes a tool that protects your concentration, your clarity, and your momentum. When your life is open to too many people, your focus becomes divided. When your life is private, your focus becomes sharp. Every time you share your plans, you invite opinions. Every opinion carries energy, expectations, and sometimes doubt. Even well-meaning advice can distract you from your original intention. Privacy reduces this noise. It creates a quiet mental space where you can think deeply, plan wisely, and move forward without interruption. Focus requires emotional stability. When too many people know your journey, their reactions start influencing your emotions. Praise can inflate ego, criticism can damage confidence, and comparison can steal joy. Privacy protects you from emotional swings. It allows you to stay grounded, balanced, and consistent, regardless of external reactions. When you work in silence, your mind stays on the task instead of the audience. You stop performing and start producing. You stop announcing effort and start delivering results. This shift from visibility to productivity is where real growth happens. Privacy also protects your time. Constantly updating others, explaining progress, and responding to questions takes energy away from the work itself. Focus thrives when your time is spent building, not explaining. Silence gives you uninterrupted time to learn, improve, and execute. Another powerful benefit of privacy is clarity of direction. Without external influence, your goals remain yours. You are not adjusting your path to meet expectations or to impress others. You are guided by purpose, not pressure. This clarity strengthens commitment and reduces hesitation. Privacy also helps you stay disciplined. When no one is watching, discipline becomes genuine. You learn to show up for yourself, not for praise. This builds integrity and long-term consistency. The strongest habits are formed in private moments when no validation is present. Focus deepens when comparison disappears. The more you observe others, the easier it is to question your pace and progress. Privacy reduces exposure to comparison, allowing you to honor your own timeline. Growth is not a race, it is a process. Privacy keeps you moving forward without unnecessary self-doubt. There is also mental freedom in privacy. When fewer people know your plans, you feel less pressure to meet deadlines that were never meant to be public. You move at a pace that supports quality rather than speed. This freedom enhances creativity and confidence. Privacy does not isolate you, it concentrates you. It aligns your energy with your priorities. It helps you say no to distractions and yes to what truly matters. Focus is not about doing more, it is about doing what matters most. Privacy helps you identify and protect that priority. When you choose privacy, your mind becomes quieter, your vision becomes clearer, and your actions become more intentional. Progress accelerates not because you are rushing, but because nothing is pulling you off course. In silence, focus sharpens. In privacy, clarity grows, and with clarity, power follows. Your life is not ordinary, and your journey is not casual. It is deeply personal, meaningful, and shaped by experiences that only you fully understand. This is why your journey must be treated as sacred. Not everything you go through needs to be shared, explained, or validated by others. Some paths are meant to be walked quietly. With intention and respect, a sacred journey requires protection. When you expose every struggle, every doubt, and every step, you risk allowing outside voices to interfere with something that is still unfolding. Sacred things need space. They need patience. They need silence to grow into their full form. Privacy honors the depth of your process. Your journey includes pain that taught you strength, failures that shaped your wisdom, and moments of confusion that redirected your life. These experiences are not content for public consumption. They are lessons meant to transform you internally. When you share too much too soon, you may dilute the power of those lessons. There is also spiritual strength in moving quietly. When you stop seeking approval for every step, you begin to trust the process more deeply. You realize that progress does not require witnesses. Growth does not need applause. Meaning does not depend on recognition. Sacred journeys unfold at their own pace. When others are watching, pressure builds. Expectations form. Timelines are questioned. Privacy removes this burden. It allows you to move slowly when needed, to pause without guilt, and to change direction without explanation. Privacy also protects your healing. Healing is fragile in its early stages. When too many people know your wounds, they may reopen them with questions, opinions, or comparisons. Healing needs safety. It needs gentleness. It needs a space where you can fall apart and rebuild without being observed. Your journey is also sacred because it is unique. Comparing it to others dishonors your path. Privacy shields you from constant comparison and reminds you that your timeline is valid. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. When you treat your journey as sacred, you develop reverence for your own growth. You become more intentional with your energy. You become selective with your words. You become protective of your peace. Sacred does not mean secret forever. It means shared with intention. Some chapters will be told later once they have taught you everything they were meant to teach. Some victories will be celebrated after they are secure. Some lessons will be shared only when they can inspire, not when they still hurt. Your journey deserves dignity. Your growth deserves patience. Your becoming deserves silence. By honoring your journey, you build inner alignment. Your actions match your values. Your steps feel grounded. Your confidence becomes calm and steady. When you finally look back, you will see that the quiet seasons were not empty. They were sacred. They were shaping you. They were preparing you. Protect your journey, respect your process, and move forward knowing that what is sacred does not need to be loud to be powerful. Privacy is not about disappearing from the world. It is about showing up for yourself. It is the conscious decision to protect your energy, your focus, and your becoming. In a world that demands constant access, choosing privacy is an act of strength, wisdom, and self-mastery. When you stop explaining everything, you start living more authentically. When you stop sharing every step, you gain clarity and confidence. When you stop seeking validation, you build self-trust. Privacy allows you to grow without pressure, heal without interruption, and rise without distraction. Your silence becomes a statement. Your boundaries become your protection. Your focus becomes your advantage. Not everyone needs to understand your journey. Not everyone needs to witness your process. What matters is that you stay aligned with your purpose. The most powerful transformations often happen when no one is watching. So move quietly. Build steadily, protect what matters, because when privacy becomes your superpower, nothing can disturb your peace, weaken your vision, or delay your growth. And when the results finally appear, they will speak louder than any explanation ever could.